Hello, I'm Cathy.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Audio. Welcome to Luna Bird Book Club. Yeah!
It's been a long time since we've had Orla.
I know, she's really
intros.
missed it. Okay, today we're doing another fan versus first time reader. And we're continuing with looking at Fables!
Ooh.
And maybe I should also say that Rachel and I both have colds.
Yeah, so if we're a bit snuffly, that's the reason.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a cold.
Yeah, we're just both a bit sniffly. So we've got hot chocolates, we've got cosy clothes. We'll be fine. So the first Fables volume that we're talking about today is March of the Wooden Soldiers, Volume 4.
Marching through the
And
village.
The Mean Seasons, Volume 5. So I thought maybe we'll start with plots of both of these,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk about your reading experience.
Okay, yeah.
And then everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
March of the Wooden Soldiers. Do you want to summarise?
I can do, yeah. So, Snow White's preggers.
Very
She
pregnant.
doesn't want to abort the babies. That was like a point of the book, which I thought was a bit strange. Is that because Fables... This isn't a question for the plot summary. We'll return to that. Snow White is pregnant, doesn't want to abort the babies. We had a prologue where we learnt more about Boy Blue, which I was really excited for because you said that you really liked Boy Blue. And Boy Blue was in the last stand of the last gate of the
Other world,
the homelands, and he met Red Riding Hood and then came to Fabletown by himself, and then Red Riding Hood has come back. She's come through a gate in Canada and she's come to Fabletown and he's like, oh, give me refuge, but she's secretly a spy. She's not even Red Riding Hood, she's Baba Yaga. And then 3 Matrix looking dudes, wooden soldiers, come and they're like, oh, we're gonna kill all these people. And there's a big army of wooden soldiers that come and storm Buckingham Street. That's not what it's called. Bullfinch Avenue.
Bullfinch Avenue.
Bullfinch Avenue, and they are defeated. Bigby comes and saves everyone, and Snow runs over and is like, oh, Bigby, you came back and you saved us. And then Snow White goes into labour, and I think that's it.
Yeah. I think that's it too. That was a very good summary.
Thanks.
And then in the Mean Seasons...
Yeah, is it still me?
Yeah. Oh, I could do it if you want.
It's up to you.
I'll do the Mean Seasons.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and then in the Mean Seasons, it kind of picks up immediately afterwards. Snow has her babies.
Yeah.
She has a whole litter. She wasn't expecting that. Mysterious deaths start happening because Snow thinks she's had 6 babies, but actually she's had the secret 7th baby, who is a Zephyr, who is inadvertently murdering people.
Uh-oh.
That storyline takes like a turn for the dark, doesn't it?
How does a baby murder people?
Well, because it's a wind. It's a little piece of wind, and it likes eating people's air as they breathe out. But it's so young and hungry, it doesn't know what to do.
So it just takes all the air out of the lungs and they suffocate.
Yeah, it's really gross. And before like that all gets discovered, because the babies are a mixture of like wolf beings and human, and none of them look human, Snow and the babies have to move to the farm, which is the one place that Bigby's not allowed.
How sad.
That's very sad. I think the other big plot thing in here is that Prince Charming becomes
I was
mayor.
just thinking, I didn't mention Prince Charming at all.
Prince Charming has an election and becomes mayor, and Boy Blue has disappeared. He's gone off to look for the real Red Riding Hood because he thinks she might still be alive in the homelands. Oh, and because Prince Charming is made mayor and because of the babies and everything, Snow and Bigby resign, and Beauty and the Beast take over their positions in the government. I think they're the big plot points.
And so Red Riding Hood is defeated in Volume 4, and then Bigby pretends to throw her body down the well that gets rid of people forever, but they didn't actually throw her down the well. They've got her locked in a dungeon, torturing information out of her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Our good guys, it's definitely not a black and white. Good guys always do the good things and bad guys always do the bad things. What was your reading experience like of these 2 volumes?
So, I've had these for ages, but have only I read them in like 4 days. Quite rushed because we were filming this video and I haven't read them. And then Cathy needed to read them.
What you just said reminds me of that one of the first songs in Matilda the musical. But sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Ends justify the means and all that.
Definitely in Fables, the good guys think that sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty. Sometimes quite a lot naughty.
So yeah, my reading experience was quite rushed, but I think I'm in it now.
You're in it.
I'm invested in it. So much so that yesterday I started Googling things and I was like, wait, spoilers. I really like Beauty and the Beast. I just think they're really funny. And the fact that they're now in these positions of authority, it just makes me laugh. They're so cute.
Oh yeah,
I really like Prince Charming as well. I think I said that in the last video, but he's just sweet. Like, he's not, but I like him.
Yeah, I think the moment when, like, because Prince Charming, I think a lot of these characters, they know who they are and have kind of embraced it, warts and all. So Prince Charming is completely, like, he'll charm his way into something and then get to it and go like, actually, I don't really want this. So, like, he's, like, charmed his way into being mayor and then realised instantly he can't fulfil any of his mayor promises. It's a bit like, oh,
That's politics,
whoops.
isn't it? There's a bit in the mean seasons where all three of them are in the office, Beauty, Beast, Prince Charming, and Prince Charming's just wearing these shorts. I'm just like, it's a peculiar outfit choice. I really like looking at the outfits that they're wearing. Yeah, overall I just enjoyed them. I can't remember specific plot points to talk about. There's this bit, I think I know who the adversary is. It's not like outright explicitly said that it's Geppetto, but come on, it's Geppetto.
You think it's Geppetto?
Yeah, because they're all like, oh, the adversary has Pinocchio's dad captive. Pinocchio's like, oh, the adversary's making my dad do all these horrible things.
And you think the adversary is Geppetto?
Yeah, come on.
Blocked.
It has to be. It has to be. This might just be me not understanding art, and it might also be the fact that the art styles were slightly different, but in the prologue Red Riding Hood looked different to the Baba Yaga Red Riding Hood, and I am assuming that is just art styles, because surely the glamour wouldn't be different, and they're fooled by her appearance. But I just thought it was interesting that that was the case.
I do think sometimes some of the characters aren't quite as distinguishable as they might need to be.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, I can't remember what when Bigby did the flashback, there was a big flashback to his...
The dogs. Yeah, I thought that. His face structure was very different to what it normally is.
And there was a bit where in Frankenstein's castle, again, we didn't include this in the plot summary, but... There's a bit where it shows a flashback of Bigby in his war years, and he infiltrates behind enemy lines Frankenstein's castle where they're trying to resurrect Frankenstein's monster. And in that bit, there was a blonde Nazi doctor. And even though this is my second time reading it, there was a moment I'm like, oh, is that Cinderella? And I tried to compare. I thought maybe she's also like a spy. You know, like maybe she was like, you know, like this is like one of their original spy things. So I was like, oh, is this Cinderella? Is she on a spy mission? I was trying to compare the faces. I'm like, actually, I can't tell if this is meant to be the same woman or not.
Well, I thought you meant about Bigby in that, because you can clearly tell that it's Bigby, but his face is different in that to the other comics. But that's just different line artists, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm too ignorant of how art works to actually understand.
Same. I was just jumping to say, I also really enjoyed reading these volumes.
They were just fun. In the Last Castle prologue of Boy Blue in the Last Castle, there's this bit where there's this kid running around with a knife, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't be running with a knife. And yeah, I just enjoyed looking at the little details more. And we learnt more about Flycatcher, that he has a wife and children back in the homelands.
I love Fly.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's lovely. Also, I feel like the March of the Wooden Soldiers is our first like big battle scene that isn't just between like two people, like two forces have come together. And I spent quite a lot of time a couple of months ago trying to find interviews of the creator Bill Willingham, I think that's what it's called, talking about Fables, but he's done like other really big comic series too. So to try and find an interview where he's just talking about Fables is really difficult. If you have any, please put them in the comments. And I found just a snippet of one where he was talking about his view of writing battle scenes is that you don't just want two really powerful people smashing against one another. He says that's not really that interesting. You want them to like have a plan, have it fail, and have another plan, and then try this. You want to see your characters like strategize and plan. And I was like, oh, that's why I really enjoy this battle scene.
One thing that I didn't really understand, I think Snow's attitude towards Bigby changed drastically in these books compared to before, because beforehand she was kind of annoyed with him and like really irritated with the fact that she was carrying his children. But in this one she has warmed up to him very rapidly, and I just thought it was very came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it because romance, but
I think I took it as like, especially at the last battle, that, you know, like she's heavily pregnant, She's trying to defend everything, and then in the moment he comes and solves it, and for a moment she thinks she's absolutely destroyed everybody because she sets the wooden soldiers on fire, thinking this will get them because they're made out of wood, and instead the wood takes ages to burn, so now she's just set all of her enemy on fire and they're burning the whole town down.
So, no, was that not because Pinocchio gets killed and she's like, oh my gosh, I've ruined everything?
No,
you think, I interpreted it more as the fact that Pinocchio was killed and he was like their bargaining piece.
Ah.
But I mean, the wooden thing is also really bad because it sets all of the buildings on fire.
Yeah.
And then there's this Mundy guy.
Oh yeah, investigating.
Yeah, who's investigating them, and I wonder why that. I think that he has, because he seems to be the only mundane person who has any memories of this battle, and I think some wayward fairy tale character he's like some descendant of one of them. So he's got fairy tale blood in him. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
But yeah, I think Snow. Just too many emotions all at once. Yeah. And then when she sees Bigby, like just the pregnancy emotions and the battle emotions, it all just takes over. She's like, I want him. She's like, this is my man, this is it. And in that moment, that's all. And then like the bit where they have to part, and like he says, run away with me, and she can't because she also can't give up on Fable Town. Yeah. I like the Snow and Bigby.
I mean, they've got to get back together, right? He's gonna have an invisible baby to raise. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
She says, "Go and find your daddy."
Go find your
little
daddy.
Zephyr. I'm assuming the child is going to be called Zephyr. I don't really know. Maybe they'll call it something else. But
they do get cool names when you learn. Yeah. So the kids are going to be quite a big part going forward.
Oh, spoiler.
Sorry. But I love them, so it's quite cool to see the introduction of the babies again. Let's talk about Boy Blue, because I think last time you said like, I
didn't know enough about him to, and he kind of, I can't remember specifically what I said about him. I should have rewatched the videos, but I think he was just a bit. I didn't really like the swagger that he had.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah. We get more Blue's backstory, a little bit more of his character, and then he goes and does something unexpected by disappearing.
Oh, he left his trumpet behind as well.
He left his trumpet behind.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I also like that Fabletown kind of falls apart without Blue, Snow, Bigby, even Cole.
Yeah, I mean, is it really that Cole's not there, or is it that... I don't really know, because Cole is still around.
I think Cole is one of those players where, like, he obviously like doesn't do a lot, but he keeps an equilibrium of power.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Because Snow really has a lot of power because she does it, but she doesn't have the electoral power. Bigby has a lot of power because he's the sheriff. So to have that quite innocent figurehead maybe does work for them.
There's something about him being constant. Yeah. It's quite leveling, grounding kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that all of his outfits had like little pipes on them. And all of Blue's had some musical riff on them.
Yeah, I love all those little details. It's really cute.
And I really like Flycatcher's little frog hat. I adore it. I want that hat. That should be the Fables merch that exists.
That should be the merch,
the frog
Flycatcher's hat.
But yeah, Boy Blue. Have my opinions on him changed? I did like getting his backstory, but I think I liked it more because I got to see, I just love A Last Stand. I love it. I love that the act of saying, we aren't going to make it out of this, but we are buying time for other people. We are attempting to win for the people that will remain. That's just my favourite type of narrative.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like, just, making that final stand. And I love that. I loved how effective that chapter was, even though you're introduced to a bunch of characters who we'll never see again. And yet it still works. And
they all still had so much personality.
Yeah.
And I really liked the St. George character, how he's like, he's holding a rooftop all by himself, and it says he even fought a dragon. He'll even beat a dragon in his time. So it is St. George with the little England cross. St. George's cross, sorry. And then a dragon comes and burns him to death. And I thought that was neat. So it is nice to see a different side of him, I guess. And the fact that he lives with Pinocchio and Fly. No, Fly doesn't live with them. Fly lives in the boiler room. Yeah. They live with someone else. I can't remember who it is. No, Fly comes around and plays with Pinocchio's toys.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Little roommate.
I love their little friendship group.
I thought Bigby was very adamant from the off that Red Riding Hood was not legit. Not, and she wasn't legit, but not in the way that Bigby thought. And it just, part of me thought, this is too, like, this insistence on this idea is too much. I just thought that Bigby was going to be wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Bigby comes to that conclusion, like I say, very quickly. So you're expecting a plot twist of, no, he's wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, he's right. Everybody else just needs to catch up.
And there was also, they kept on using the word ride herd or like something like that, and I thought, what does that mean? So I had to look it up, and because I was thinking, do they just mean ride hard?
Yeah.
But so I was introduced to a new phrase. Ride herd is where you're kind of just like tailing a group of people, making sure they're staying in a group, or like something like that.
Okay.
Something to do with herding and sheep and
Yeah.
things like that. It was interesting to learn that phrase.
Oh yeah, I don't think I knew that. So what do you think is going to happen next, or what would you like to see?
So in the time is advancing quite quickly. So Mean Seasons took a whole year out of it. We had a whole year with Snow's convalescence when she was shot in the head. So I think time is moving quite quickly. So I don't know if there's going to be a jump so that the kids are a bit older, or if we're going to visit someone else while the kids age a little bit. I'd like to see Bigby's adventures with the little invisible child that steals people's breath. Are we going to get to see Blue in the Homelands, or is Blue going to come back and tell us what he did in the Homelands in a flashback? Bigby's dad has rocked up.
Bigby's dad
Is he here to stay? He came from the Homelands, surely.
Yeah.
How did he get there?
How did he get there?
I have no idea.
You want some answers?
I do want some answers. I want more of Beauty and the Beast being useless.
Yeah.
I love them. They're just so cute and funny. And I really liked in the Battle of Fabletown when the Beast went with Prince Charming to Beauty's house, and he was like, right, I've traded what?
Yeah.
100,000 gold for 10 minutes in bed with you, Beauty. And then she gets really cross so that he can hold Beast out for the fight. I thought that was really cute. Obviously not a
good practice for your marriage.
No, and he's now trying to buy a glamour a bit like Bigby has, where he can transform at will. So yeah, that would be useful going forward.
Yeah.
Now that I know that the adversary is not Rumpelstiltskin, well, now that I am 80% certain that the adversary is not Rumpelstiltskin and is in fact Geppetto, I'd like to see Rumpelstiltskin on screen. I just think he's a cool fairy tale character.
He is a cool character.
Yeah, where's Jack gone?
What is Jack doing?
What is Jack up to? I'd like to know that.
So those have been our thoughts on Fables Volume 4 and 5.
Tune in next time in about 2 months for Fables Volume 6, 7, 8, maybe 9.
Ooh.
Should I read more? I just want to read. I want to read
You
it.
can. Keep going.
Oh, exciting.
And tune in for every other week.
And tune in for every other week too, because we release videos every Friday.
We do.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
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 Things.
Shouldn't we have put a spoiler warning?
Yeah, we should have put a spoiler warning. We never do.
I think. What am I saying? Wow, words.
We've already even covered who you think the adversary is.
Yeah, there's no way it's not Geppetto. Come on. Fine. We'll just fly off the. We'll see if I can.
Sneak peek for next week.